May I know who have joined this morning?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna Neetu Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Guranga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining regularly and giving your wonderful association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, our glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas, and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirti Dasi. Thank you so much for your services.
Hare Krishna Kirti Sundari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Guranga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining. All glories to your services. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago, and all glories to you, Mataji, for your service.
Hare Krishna Yashamati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Guranga ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining every single day, and thank you for the beautiful Bhagavad Gita recitation. All glories to your services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Vrinda from Atlanta.
Hare Krishna Vrinda Gopika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Guranga ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining, giving a beautiful association every day. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. This is HG.Preethi Dasi from Pune.
Hare Krishna Preethi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Guranga ki jai. Thank you for joining Mataji and giving me a wonderful association this morning. Hare Krishna, welcome to the call. Hare Krishna dear devotees, once again I welcome you all for this mid-morning class. I would like to start by sharing a quote by Srila Prabhupada ji. Our only request is that if you want happiness, if you want to prosper, make your life successful, you must read Bhagavad Gita thoroughly as it is. As Krishna says, don't try to misinterpret. Bombay, April 2nd, 1974. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna dear devotees, today we're very fortunate to have Her Grace, Preeti Vilasini Mataji. Mataji will be lighting on the Sri Caitanya Bhagavata-Madhya Khanda 23.66 till verse 86. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances, Preeti Vilasini Mataji. Thank you for giving your valuable time and beautiful association this morning. Very happy to have you on the call and waiting eagerly to hear from you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Guranga ki jai. Please take over Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you all so much for joining us and giving us your most valuable association. We'll get started with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yadkripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramanandamadavam Krishna Chaitanyam Ishwaram. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ajanulambita bhujau kanakavadato sankirtanaicapitarau kamalayatakshav vishwambharau dvijavarau yugadharmapalau Vande Jagat Priyakarau Karunavataro. जयति जयति देवा कृष्ण चैतन्य चन्द्रो जयति जयति कीर्तिस्तस्य नित्या पवित्रा जयति जयति भृत्यास्तस्य विश्वेश्वमूर्ते जयति जयति नृत्यं तस्य सर्वप्रियाणाम्. My humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas on the call. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. We are studying Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata, and we are currently in this particular section where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in Navadvip, and there was a milk drinking brahmachari who came, who wanted to witness the beautiful kirtans, night-long kirtans in Srivasangan, but he was not allowed to enter. And then later, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu corrects him and also gives us mercy. He places his lotus feet on the head of this wonderful devotee, and this devotee is transformed, and he is able to attain love of God in the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that time, the people in Navadvip, they were all talking to each other. They were thinking, will we ever get a chance to see this beautiful dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Some of them, they were blaming the atheists. They were telling these atheists, it's all because of them, because they truly do not appreciate Krishna and they have their own vested interests. Mahaprabhu is not even allowing us, who are probably more interested, to see the Kirtan. So like this, they were discussing. And then we see from verse number 65. Teho se Krishnera bhakta janai na sakala tahara hridaya puni parama nirmala. He is a devotee of Krishna, so he knows everything. Moreover, his heart is more pure. So those people in Navadvip, they were discussing among each other and they were telling, yeah, Mahaprabhu knows everything. He's a pure devotee. He knows everything. So he knows what to do and what not to do. Text number 66. Amara sabara yadi take bhakti thake tabe nritya avashya dheki ba kona pake. And then they come to the conclusion, if we are really devoted to him, then somehow we will certainly see his dancing. So the only qualification to see the Lord dancing is that we should be truly devoted. We should really be a devotee. We should not have any other interests. So they are telling, the word pake means under some circumstance, somehow or the other. If we show that we are intensely devoted, then one day he will permit us to see his dancing. Kona nagariya bale vashita ka bhai nayana bhariya dhiki bhanai thani. One of the inhabitants said, "Oh brothers, just wait. We will see the dancings to our full satisfaction right here." Why? Because samsara uddhara lagi nimai pandita nadiyara maje asi haila vidita. Nimai Pandit has appeared within Nadia to deliver the entire world. That is the purpose of his incarnation. He has come here to deliver the entire world. So don't worry, we will soon see him dancing to our full satisfaction. We can witness it very soon right here. That is the purpose of his advent. Yes, we will all be benefited. घरे घरे नगरे नगरे प्रति द्वारे करिबे न संकीर्तना बाइला तुम्हारे. I tell you, we will perform Sankirtan from door to door at every house and in every town. So, this is the beauty of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's advent in this world. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this world to distribute this holy names, right? He came to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement and distribute the holy names. That is the purpose of his advent. And now some of the Navadvip Vasis, they were talking to each other. Don't worry, we will definitely get an opportunity to see the Sankirtan simply because the Lord has advented just to deliver the fallen souls, just to deliver this entire world with the help of the holy names. So during the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we all know how everybody was many people in Navadvip during the time of his divine appearance. Many people in Navadvip, they were not so very Krishna conscious. And it was Advaita Gosai who very vehemently, very, intensely, he came forward and he chanted the holy names of Krishna. He called out to Krishna. He worshipped a Shalagram Shila with Tulasi and Gangajal, and he called out to the Lord. He wanted the Lord to come and deliver all the fallen souls. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was a small baby after he appeared in this world, in Gauranga book, Jaitak Maharaj says, when Lord Chaitanya was a small boy, he would cry and he would not stop crying. Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Mata, they brought a doctor. They brought so many other people, but nobody could figure out what was wrong. Then some ladies began to chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Immediately, Lord Chaitanya stopped crying. He was laughing and clapping his hands. Oh, this is the secret. When we chant Harinam, you will stop crying. Then they got up and started walking away. And when they walked away, when they stopped crying, when they stopped chanting, wah, 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 again he started crying. And then they had to go back and start chanting again and again, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And again he stopped crying. They found that they had to keep on chanting when he is awake. Otherwise, he would cry. So like this kirtan went on going round the clock. Even as a baby, the Lord was propagating the holy names. In fact, even before his appearance, you all know when he was just appearing, it was the eclipse, and everybody had gone to the Ganges and they were all chanting the holy names because it is a tradition that one chants the holy names during the time of eclipse. So even before he appeared, everybody was induced to chant the holy names. And there were some Muslims who were watching and they were saying, what are these Hindus doing? They are chanting Haribol, Haribol. They are chanting Hare Krishna. So although they did not have faith, they were also chanting in the pretext of making fun of the Hindus. So somehow or the other, they were chanting that sound and the Hare Krishna Mahamantra filled in the air. So you see, that was the purpose of his incarnation. So even before he appeared, at the time of appearance, whatever situation it may be, Sriman Mahaprabhu ensured that the whole world is continuously chanting the holy names. Then why he wouldn't be merciful towards the residents of Navadvip and show his chanting and dancing? In fact, even in Adi Leela, when Krishnadasa Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he describes the summary of the Lord's advent. At that time, he says, when the Lord was born, everybody was chanting the name of Lord. Everyone was chanting Hari Hari. That is when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared. At his birth, his childhood, and his later boyhood, as well as in his youth, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, under different pleas, induce the people to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is Adi Leela 13.22. Janma Balya Paukanda Kishora Yuva Kale Hari Nama Lao Yaila Prabhu Nana Chale. Under different pretexts, he kept telling everybody, whether it was childhood, whether it was youth, whether it was in his later time, whenever it was, he induced everybody to chant the Hare Krishna Mantra. Just like when he was born, all the ladies would come and they would chant Hari Hari and he would stop crying. So during his childhood, he made everyone chant. Then when he was in his Pauganda age, he became a very serious student and he also taught disciples. In this way, he used to explain the holy name of Krishna everywhere. Then, while teaching a course in grammar, Vyakaran, and explaining with notes, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught his disciples about the glories of Krishna. All explanations culminated in Krishna, and his disciples would understand them very easily. Thus, this was very wonderful, says Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Lord Chaitanya, when he was a student, whomever he met, he would ask them to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In this way, he inundated the town of Navadvip with chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Just prior to his youthful life, he began the Sankirtan movement. Day and night, he used to chant in ecstasy with his devotees, like we are seeing right now. The Sankirtan movement went on from one part of the town to another. The Lord wandered everywhere performing Kirtan. In this way, he distributed and inundated the whole world with love of God. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived in Navadip for 24 years. He induced every single person to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and merge in love for God. And the remaining 24 years of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after accepting the renounced order of life, when he went to go and stay in Jagannath Puri with his devotees, even then he was always chanting and dancing and distributing love for Krishna. Even when he went to Vrindavan during his 6 years, he toured all of India. What was he doing? He was simply chanting, dancing, and distributing love of Krishna. And during his travels after sannyas also, he went and spoke to everyone about Krishna, and he regularly performed kirtan, inducing all the devotees to simply chant Krishna, love Krishna by chanting and dancing. So like this, he told everyone how to taste transcendental mellow, and he himself tasted this transcendental mellow day and night like a madman. So this is from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can refer this Adi Leela, chapter 13. If you see the different verses, it talks about how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even every single moment of his life, right before his birth, during his birth, like we saw how the ladies would come and clap, and then they would make Nimai chant. They would chant Hare Krishna and make Nimai happy. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he continued this process. He ensured that whether it is his Balya Leela, Pauganda Leela, or his youth pastimes, or his later pastimes, his sannyas pastimes, every time he induced everybody to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So the people in Navadvip, now they were telling, I tell you, he will perform Sankirtan from door to door at every house and in every town. Text 70. भाग्यवंत नगरिया सर्वावतारे पंडितेर गणे सबा निंदा करी मारे. The inhabitants of Navadvip were actually the most fortunate, for they accompanied the Lord in each of his incarnations. But the scholars suffered as a result of their blasphemy. So, the favorable devotees, the residents, the innocent residents of Navadvip, they were all very fortunate because they went with the Lord in all his incarnations. Many of them were eternal associates, and we know this list of eternal associates who had incarnated in Navadvip. In fact, the Lord, in all his previous incarnations also, whenever he appears, he tells his intimate associates to take birth before his appearance. Just like how we see Krishna gives instructions to the demigods to become the Yadavas, and then he calls for his personal associates like Balaram, for example. He appears even before Krishna appears so that he can set everything proper for Krishna to appear. He comes and he cleans up the womb and he makes everything ready for Krishna to appear. So like that, we see even in Navadvip also, there were many close associates who had already taken birth before Mahaprabhu appeared. Like, for example, Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur, so many of them, Haridas Thakur, like that, many devotees had already taken birth. So they were all eternal associates of the Lord, and they had accompanied the Lord in his multifarious incarnations. So they were very favorable and they were very fortunate. But however, the scholars who were attached to dry speculations, such scholars, they suffered because they were simply blaspheming the Lord. Divasa Haila Sabha Nagariya Gana Prabhudhiki Bharatabe Karina Gamana. Every early morning, the inhabitants would go and see the Lord. Ke hava mutana dravya karo hate kala, keha grita, keha dadi, keha divyamala. And when they would go and see the Lord, what did they do? Automatically, they would bring some gift or the other. They would bring some items, new items, or they would bring some bananas, ghee, yogurt, or some attractive flower garlands. So So this is so beautiful. Wherever the Lord is, right? Devotees, we love to go and please the Lord. When we go to the temple, they say, don't go empty-handed. At least give something, right? That is the tradition. When we see someone, like for example, when we are going to meet our own relatives, we don't go empty-handed. We try to take a gift for them, even if we are just visiting them. If not a gift, at least we take some fruits. If not some fruits, at least something, maybe a garland from the deity, something, some gift, some material gift, spiritual gift, whatever it may be. We don't go empty-handed. So like that, everybody, they would bring some gift or the other. Just like when even you see these different gifting systems in Bhagavatam also. In the story of Prithu Maharaj, when Prithu Maharaj appeared and he was talking to the residents, at that time, everybody was coming and giving him different kinds of gifts. They were presenting gifts. Similarly, we see in the story of Vamanadev, when he appeared, that is such a cute thing. He appeared and everybody came to give various gifts. All the demigods, not just people in that local area, all the demigods, they all came and they gave different kinds of gifts. We see a list of all the demigods. Similarly, in my Pandit appearance also, we see so many demigods who came in the disguise of Navadvipvasis and they were coming and bringing gifts. So this is very natural. When we love someone a lot and when someone is so attractive, we naturally want to serve them by giving them something. We feel intense affection for them. So like that, everybody in Navadvip, they loved Nimai so much. So they would bring some gift or the other. They would bring some new items, some bananas, ghee, yogurt, and all sorts of attractive garlands. लाई लचले न सबे प्रभु देखी भारे प्रभु देखी सर्वलोक दंडवत करे. Everyone went to see the Lord with such gifts. On seeing the Lord, they all offered obeisances unto him. It's a spontaneous reaction. When you see someone who's so worshipable, who's so exalted also, automatically you get up and you pay obeisances. It says when you see an exalted personality in front of you, if you don't get up, the pranavayu gets up. That means it comes out of your system. So it is better you automatically get up. This actually Duryodhan himself felt this in the Mahabharata. This instance comes. So Duryodhan had told everyone when that Krishna comes, don't even get up. But he was the first one who got up. And then looking at him, the rest of them, they got up. So it is natural. It is very natural. Even if you train your mind, I don't want to get up in front of the Lord. I don't want to get up in front of a great devotee of the Lord. Automatically you will get up. Why? Because the pranavayu rises immediately and automatically you will get up. It's a natural reaction. You can see this at any point in time. Immediately you will get up and you will pay obeisances. Your system will not keep quiet unless you're so proud. You're training yourself, okay, I should not get up. Then there is a problem. But however, in the case of Duryodhana, Krishna made him also get up. So that is the nature. So they all went, they saw the Lord with gifts, and immediately they all paid obeisances unto him. Prabhu Bale Krishna Bhakti Haunka Sabhara Krishna Nama Guna Baina Bahira Ara. So like this, when devotees went and met the Lord and they gave him many gifts, what did the Lord say in reciprocation? He gave the highest gift. Krishna, we think we are giving gifts to Krishna, but actually we are the recipient because Krishna is continuously giving us the highest gift, which is his mercy. And what did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the most munificent incarnation, the most merciful incarnation, say? He said to them, may you all attain devotional service to Krishna. Do not speak about anything other than the name and qualities of Krishna. Krishna nama guna bai na baliha ar. So he says, may you all attain devotional service. Krishna bhakti hunka sabhara. So the point here is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always, whenever he had to bless someone, he says Krishner Matirasto. He doesn't say, may you live long, may you get a lot of treasure, may you have a beautiful wife. Those are not the kind of blessings a great exalted personality gives. Prabhupada also, I don't know, I'm suddenly reminded of this. Once in a train, I think this was somewhere in Mexico, many people wanted to come and take blessings from him. And Prabhupada's blessings all the time, whoever it may be. Some, not only in Mexico, in many other places also, many people, they came and They said, give me this, oh, you're a great sage, you're a yogi, you can give this, you can give that. But Prabhupada, he always said, may you become a devotee. So that is the greatest blessing. So I've heard even Jatak Maharaj also, he always gives these blessings on the calls. Krishner Matirastu, Krishner Ratiruhu, like those kind of Rahu. Yeah. So those kind of blessings. So this is the best blessing a devotee can get. So he says, may you attain all devotional service unto Krishna. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur here he says, when out of aversion to the service of the Supreme Lord, the living entities become conditioned, then sense gratification becomes their only goal of life. So sometimes living entities, when we are in this conditioned state, we are so affected by our condition, our conditioned state, that sense gratification is the only goal of life. We are not worried about devotional service. We are continuously absorbed in gratifying our senses. The speech of conditioned souls is confined to material name, forms, qualities, and activities that is suitable for sense gratification. Therefore, since the living entities have no opportunity to hear the topics of Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes, they become entangled in scrutinizing other subject matters. So, this is the nature of this material world. In this material world, what is happening in our conditioned state, we are constantly seeking after gratifying our senses. And our subject matters of talk is also something very mundane. Why? Because we haven't really had the opportunity to hear about Krishna. Desiring eternal benefit for living entities, Sri Gaurasundar blessed them with the words, may the propensity of serving Krishna awaken in you. He further prohibited them from engaging in prajalpa of discussing name, form, qualities, and activities not related to Krishna. In other words, he instructed them to always engage in congregational glorification of Hari. As soon as discussion of topics related to Hari diminishes, the discussion of sense gratification becomes prominent. This results in inauspiciousness. This is all of our story. Every day it is happening. Our natural tendency is to talk something mundane. But then, interestingly, if we have an opportunity to hear about the name, form, qualities of the Lord, then we feel good. It automatically puts us in a better position. A sense gratification takes a lower rung. But then after some time, once we are done with Bhagavatam class, once we are done with chanting the holy names, once we are done with Chaitanya Bhagavat class, we are back to talking mundane topics. But here, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving a personal instruction. He's telling us, Prabhu Bale, Krishna Bhakti Hauka Sabhar, Krishna Nama Guna Bai, Na Bahila Ar. So he's telling, please don't engage in talking something mundane. Always talk about Krishna. Bring your mind back. Always talk about Krishna. Hear something nice about Krishna. Hear about his Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, and be immersed in that. Set 75. Apana sabare Prabhu kare upadesh Krishna nama maha mantra sunaha harishe. The Lord personally instructed everyone, hear the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and be happy. Krishna Nama Maha Mantra Sunaha Harishe. So he's telling, please hear specifically. He didn't say hear any mantra, hear anything you like and be happy. No, he said, hear the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra specifically. And did he utter the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? Yes, very much. In the next few verses, we will see that. Many people, they argue that, oh, nowhere in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, nowhere it is mentioned that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically chanted the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. He just said Krishna, Rama. He just said, Hey Krishna, Hey Govinda. That is all. And this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we don't know how it has come into the parampara. So there are many claims like that. Okay. To defeat all those claims, here directly in Chaitanya Bhagavat, which is one of the most authoritative biographies, we see Mahaprabhu speaking out the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We'll see that in a minute, but before that, text 75 has a long purport by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So we'll go through that completely. So he says, Conditioned souls devoid of devotional service to Krishna are always eager to gratify their senses. To benefit these living entities, Gaurasundar told them, happily hear the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. See, hearing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is not a depressing thing. It is happy. It is happy because automatically it will put you to a state of happiness. Those who are compelled to hear the holy names of the Lord are not very enthusiastic to chant. Therefore, it is instructed that one should happily chant or hear the awarded Hare Krishna Mahamantra with full enthusiasm. So, what we should do? We should not only hear the Mahamantra, we should also regularly chant the Mahamantra. Since living entities averse to the Lord's service are always associating with non-devotees and taking their sinful counsel, they naturally remain aloof from hearing topics of the Supreme Lord. So, first and foremost thing, you take association of devotees, and in the association of devotees, get inspired, hear and chant the holy names of the Lord. The process for remaining aloof from material thoughts is called as mantra. Manahatrayati iti mantra. That which delivers the mind is called as a mantra. What should the mind get delivered from? The mind should get delivered from material thoughts. So, mantra is a process by which, when you chant that, your mind gets delivered from material thoughts. That's why. So, now in the previous verse, what did Mahaprabhu say? Mahaprabhu said that you should always speak only things related to Krishna, topics related to Krishna. And he said, keep all your prajalpa away, keep all the mundane talks away. But how to do it? How to have the mind not think of material things? In the previous verse also we saw, yeah, for the time being, what are we doing? We are just trying to think of Krishna, but it is not happening all the time. For that, we have to train the mind. You have to train the mind with the mantra. Yeah, so you have to constantly chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Instruction in the form of sound vibration is the only method for becoming free from thoughts of enjoyment and renunciation. One achieves perfection in chanting mantra when one keeps the vibrated sound within his heart and controls his materially attached mind. One person's mind is different from another person's mind. Therefore, the act of remembrance is intended for an individual. Therefore, chanting of the name Hari by an individual is called as a mantra. So he's telling, for you to train your mind, every person's mind is different. For you to remember Krishna all the time, you need to chant. If you want to attain smaranam, basically, if you want to think of Krishna 24/7, the most important thing is you should train your mind to think about Krishna, train your mind to keep away from sense gratification. How do you do that? You do that only with the help of a mantra. So to improve the remembrance of Krishna, the basis is chanting the mantra, chanting the holy names. Now, how to chant the holy names? That he says. A group of people can all chant the Mahamantra together. This happens in the temple. We all go and we chant the Mahamantra together. Many people can give advice that is favorable to the process of sadhana or spiritual practice. Therefore, there are many Siksha Gurus instructing spiritual masters, but only one Diksha Guru, an initiating spiritual master. So what is the Siksha Guru or the Diksha Guru doing? They are telling us to chant the Mahamantra. Either you chant separately or you chant in a group, whatever it may be, you have to chant. And if many people are giving you that advice of sadhana, they're telling you the process of sadhana, the process of chanting, there are many Siksha Gurus. But however, there can be only one Diksha Guru, one initiating spiritual master. The heart is purified by the Mahamantra and the other mantras that is given. As a result of the heart's purification, all the senses become free from temporary propensity for material enjoyment and you realize the eternal nature. Then, insignificant and abominable conceptions cannot become prominent. One who is not able to happily accept these facts is destined to remain in misery. So basically, when Mahaprabhu was telling this is the process, please chant the holy names of the Lord, we have to accept it. We have to accept it and we have to chant. Now, this is not a class actually for great sadhakas like yourself. This is a class for me because my sadhana is horrible. So definitely it's a reiteration for myself that I should chant, and chanting is the basis of everything. Unless I chant, I cannot be able to think about Krishna constantly. Okay, text 76. Now he reveals the mantra that you should chant. Now here Mahaprabhu is instructing the people in Navadvip that you should chant this particular mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Mahaprabhu has given this mantra. To whom did he give this mantra? He directly gave it to the people of Navadvip. Now there is another instance in the same Chaitanya Bhagavat when Mahaprabhu gave the mantra. Anybody knows that? I also didn't know till recently, but I know many of you are great stalwart scholars and you all know. So one of you can tell. When did Mahaprabhu speak out the Maha Mantra? He spoke it to somebody in the past. Not in the past. You have read this in Adi Khanda. One more person. He spoke the full Maha Mantra. Yeah, Kirtida Mataji. She's the boss. And she also covered this section. Yes, Mataji.
In Ramkeli, when Mahaprabhu gave this instruction to Tapana Mishra?
Yes, when he gave the instruction to Tapan Mishra. Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. And you only taught me this. So I'm going to repeat whatever I learned from Mataji. So what I'll do is I'll read directly from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat itself. So when Mahaprabhu meets Tapan Mishra, that time he tells Tapan Mishra that, wait, I wanted to open up the verses. Oh, I opened the wrong one. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay, I'm going to go and open those verses because we'll also see how exactly he spoke the same thing. Yeah, I think this is the chapter 14, the disappearance of Lakshmi Priya and Mahaprabhu's visit to East Bengal. I think that is the chapter. Verses, 1 second. Sorry, I had it open somehow. I ended up closing it. It was a nice set of verses that I wanted to cover. Okay. Okay, maybe I'll pick it up again. It is there in this particular chapter, meeting of Lakshmi Priya. For some reason, I had a shutdown and I lost those verses. So that's okay. But he meets Tapan Mishra in East Bengal. And there, when he meets Tapan Mishra in East Bengal, Tapan Mishra actually wanted to join Mahaprabhu in his preaching mission. He just wanted to give up his household life and join Mahaprabhu in the preaching mission. So at that time, he gives this instruction to Tapan Mishra. He tells Tapan Mishra, you don't have to join me in my mission. Rather, you stay at home and you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So he tells him, you just chant this particular mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is what you should be doing. Keep chanting this Maha Mantra and then you go and settle down in Kashi. He tells him, don't stay here, you go and settle in Kashi. Then later, when Mahaprabhu actually goes to Kashi, at that time, he meets the Tapan Mishra again, and Tapan Mishra was struggling with the Mayavadis. He was struggling with the kind of philosophy that the Mayavadis had put into his head. He was not able to defeat them. Then he again speaks to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he seeks his help. So this was the story of Tapan Mishra. And when he was speaking to Tapan Mishra, he directly spoke the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So like this, we see in two different places. One is in Adi Khanda. This is chapter 14. I don't have the exact verses. I'm not able to pull it up. But he speaks to Tapan Mishra, the direct Mahamantra, Hare Krishna. And also here in this context, he's speaking to the people of Navadvip. Now, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says, although mantra is composed of the Lord's names, since the fourth dative case is used in this address, it indicates self-surrender. So first and foremost thing, generally, what is a mantra? When we give this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, if you observe the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra only consists of the names of Krishna. A mantra, on the other hand, when we say a mantra means the standard procedure of getting a mantra is that first it will have a bija, then it will have the name of the deity, and then when you are chanting the mantra, you are calling out to the Lord in a dative case. That means, for example, Krishna is there, Krishnaya is there. Rama is there, Ramaya. Narayana, Narayanaya. Like, for example, there is So Mataji got the verses. Both the Matajis got the verses. It is chapter 14, verses 145 onwards or 144 onwards. So we can read those verses. Sorry, and thank you both Matajis. So mantra in general, it consists of a bija. It consists of the name of the Lord, and then you are offering your respects. You're saying Namaha, and you're calling out to that Lord. For example, with the pranava is in the first. Namo Narayanaya. That is one mantra. Again, pranava. Nama Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That is a mantra. So what happens in a mantra? First, there is a bija. And then the Lord is called in the fourth case or the dative case. For him you're calling and you're saying it is for him, it is not for me. Okay, which means I'm paying obeisances to this Lord. So this is how mantras are generally composed. Even the Gayatris that you receive, right? If you remember how the mantra is chanted, that particular Lord, Krishnaya or Vasudevaya, so that for them, you're calling them in the fourth dative case. That is how a mantra is generally composed. When you're chanting that mantra, you're surrendering everything to that Lord. You're not keeping anything for yourself. Rather, you are worshipping that Lord, and it is an indication of Atmanivedan. You are surrendering yourself. That's how you're chanting. Namo Narayanaya with pranava. Like that, when you chant, you're actually focusing on the Lord. So that is what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is saying. Generally, a mantra will be composed of Lord's names, but the Lord's name will be in the dative case. And it indicates self-surrender. That means Atmanivedan. That means you are dedicating everything to that Lord. But however, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we call it a mantra, but it has only the names of the Lord. And it is in an invocative or a vocative address, meaning you're just keeping the names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We are not saying Hare Krishnaya, Hare Krishnaya, like that we are not saying, right? It's just the name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, this Nama, it is actually Nama Rupa. It is just Nama. There is no Bija and there is no dative case. It is just Nama. That's all. Pronunciation of Nama. When Namas are put together in a particular order, that time it is also called as a mantra. It is also called as a mantra, but it doesn't have a bija. So these are also mantras. That's why the smartas, he says, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, the smartas refer to the Mahamantra as Tharaka Brahmanama. For them, it is for liberation, because Taraka Brahmanama means the Nama that leads to liberation. They are only focused on liberation. They are not interested in love of God. Okay. So the Smartas, they refer to Mahamantra as Taraka Brahmanama. Brahman, it is one of the names of Brahman that will help you get liberated. For example, you see a lot of Smartas, even in South India also, they'll be chanting the Mahamantra very nicely. They'll have big bhajan groups and they chant. Of course, they put the Rama in the front. This Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare. You'll see hundreds and thousands of Smarta Brahmanas chanting this, and they would be doing bhajans and kirtans and everything. And it will appear so wonderful. Oh, wow, they are all great devotees. Yes, they are doing their part of chanting the holy names. But the point is, they are thinking that this is Taraka Brahmanama. This is the name of the Lord that will just deliver us. They are only interested in liberation. Here, Prabhupada Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says, all Smartas are more or less impersonalists. So their belief is one can attain impersonal renunciation after finishing one's material enjoyment. So they are all chanting the name. You know this Rama Taraka Nama, Rama 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 Rama, people chant that. They say it is Taraka Nama. We are doing it. We are doing the chant for liberation. So persons who are liberated from the clutches of karmis and jnanis are devoid of material desires. People controlled by selfish desires become sense enjoyers, whereas people desirous of liberation give up the material enjoyment and endeavor to achieve liberation to rectify their situation. So these jnanis who are trying for liberation, they are chanting the holy names as well, and they are calling the holy names as Taraka Brahmanama. But by chanting the Mahamantra under the shelter of such desires, the urge for insignificant fruits becomes very strong. This is an offense to the holy name, to have all these different desires while chanting the holy names, right? We all chant the 10 offenses every single day. The chant of the holy names should be done actually only for love of God, for no other purpose, as a part of our sadhana. If we are maintaining material desires, even after hearing so many instructions about the holy name, then it is only a waste. Okay, it is, I won't say it's a waste. Yes, you get a lot of other things satisfied, but the actual purpose of the holy name is defeated. Why you're chanting the holy name is defeated. So the vocative address for the name Hari is Hare. And the vocative address for the name Hara is Hare. When Swayam Rupa Nama of Krishna, the omnipotent Swayam Prakash name of Ram, and Hari are chanted in a tongue devoid of material desire, there is no longer possible to engage in service within the 14 worlds, the Viraja river or the Brahmaloka. So there is no chance if you are purely chanting the holy names without any offenses, without any other motives. If you're purely chanting the holy names, then there is no scope for you to stay within this 14 worlds, the Brahmaloka, or even the borderline Viraja river. You will definitely get an opportunity to go to Paramvyoma. That is then the opportunity for engaging in service begins only in the Paravyoma or the spiritual sky. If one considers the degree of rasa found in Krishna's Swayam Prakash Tattva, Baladev, and in his Baladev subsequent Prakash and Vilas expansions, one will find that the full manifestation of all rasas is Krishna, who is Akila Rasamrita Murti. Rasabdhim, this is one of the Dashamula, in the Dashamula Tattva, which was taken off from the Navaprameya and the Madhva Sampradaya. If you see how Bhaktivinoda Thakur puts the Dashamul together, one of the important aspects of the Supreme Absolute Truth is Rasabdhim. This is also a statement directly from the Vedanta Sutras, Akila Rasamrita Murti. The Supreme Lord is the embodiment of all rasas. This is what makes Krishna very, very special. Krishna's Vilas Rupa, Prakash Rupa, whatever, all his different kinds of expansions in Vaikuntha and so many other places, Yeah, it is also a place of eternal existence. But the rasa, the full manifestation of rasa is seen only in Krishna. Therefore, there is no possibility of the full manifestation of rasa in personalities who are in the abode of partial rasa. That's why the plenary portions and portion of the plenary portion of the Lord more or less engage in service of the Swayam Rupa. When people realize devotional service to Krishna, they attain the service of Radha Raman rather than considering themselves Atma Ram, one who keeps pleasure in the Atma or the spirit. So the point here is that when you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, what happens? You develop love of God. Which God are we talking about here? We are talking about Akila Rasamrita Murti, Lord Sri Krishna. You develop prema for Krishna. That is the purpose of chanting the Maha Mantra. But otherwise, what has happened today is we're chanting the Maha Mantra for everything. Okay, to attain so many other things. That should not be the mode. Maha Mantra should always be reserved just to get love of God. That's it. Period. That's all Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is telling us. And that is not love of God anywhere. You should aim for that Akila Rasamrita Murti, love for Krishna. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly gave out the mantra from his own lotus mouth. So how fortunate are we? There are so many people who keep arguing, oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and reversed the mantra. There is absolutely no need for Mahaprabhu to come and do all that. Mahaprabhu gave the mantra as it is. This is how he has given it, and this is how we chant. We chant it as Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There is no need for him to come and change something, reverse something. I've heard stories where they say he reversed it in the influence of Rahu. Now, who is Rahu? Who is Mahaprabhu? Why does he have to change something in the influence of Rahu? There's no need to do all that. Mahaprabhu gave the mantra as it is, and we just follow it as it is. It comes in parampara, we repeat as it is. So there is no need for such speculations and such nonsense. We just have to accept things as they are given. Okay, we'll go to the next one, 77. Prabhu bale kahilana ye mahamantra iha japa giya sabe kariya nirbandha. The Lord continued, this is the Maha Mantra. He's telling, he didn't say Hare Rama, Hare Rama. He didn't even do all that drama. And then he said, okay, this is the drama. Now I change the Rama. He didn't do all that. The Lord continued, this is the Maha Mantra. All of you go and chant this mantra according to the prescribed number. Kariya Nirbandhana. There is a Nirbandhan. What is that Nirbandhan? Nirbandhan is not rules and regulations because this is Nama. Remember, it is not a it doesn't have Pranava. There are no Bijas. So it is a Nama. So there are no rules and regulations. Once there is Pranava or there is Bijas, there is rules and regulations. You should do it after showering. You should do it Sandhyakal. You should do it in a particular position. You should cover your count. Okay, all that is, of course, it's a good habit to cover the count. I'm not saying it's not a good habit. Very good habit. We continue to do that. But the Maha Mantra, the rule and regulation for the Maha Mantra is always try to keep a prescribed number. This is how the Acharyas chanted, and this is how we should also chant. Many people say, oh, I will just keep chanting all the time. Why should I keep a number? I chant all the time. We cannot chant all the time. We are not so great. We do not chant all the time. We have to keep prescribed numbers and follow what the Guru Parampara has given us. Here, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is telling, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra should be chanted loudly at every moment. Yes, the instruction for softly chanting the Maha Mantra as in Japa is also prescribed. So no one thinks it is not meant to be chanted softly. Again, there is so much confusion about Nirbandha. Some people say you should chant it softly. Some people say you should chant it loudly. Some people say, oh, you should chant it inside your mind. Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is telling Mahamantra should be chanted loudly. Yes, every moment chant it loudly, but you should also chant it softly. Nobody said you should not chant it softly. The word Nirbandha refers to chanting the holy names according to a prescribed number. When you do japa, you always have a prescribed number. 16 rounds is the prescription given to us by Srila Prabhupada. Above 16 rounds, you can do how many other rounds you do, but at least a minimum 16 rounds. The Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is not meant to be only chanted softly. nor is it prohibited from being chanted softly. Since there is an instruction for 5 to 10 people to gather together and clap hands while chanting loudly, it is understood that Mahamantra is not only meant to be chanted softly, and the process of chanting the vocative Mahamantra along with mantras that include names ending with the fourth dative case has also not been ignored. Now, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is also clarifying one more thing. First thing he clarified is prohibition, nirbandha, rules and regulations is meant mainly to keep a number. There is no rules and regulations that you should chant it only softly or only loudly. Chant it however possible. Chant it softly, chant it loudly. Everything is prescribed. Chanting by yourself, japar for oneself is also prescribed. Chanting the holy names in the presence of 5 or 6 people, clapping hands, doing kirtan, that is also prescribed. Everything is prescribed. But however, one should not think that Mahamantra is only in the vocative case, okay, like Hare Krishna, like that. Therefore, mantras that are there in the dative case should not be chanted. One should not think like that. And that example he will give now. Just now we said any dative case, fourth case, Ramaya, Krishnaya, Narayanaya, these mantras generally they are preceded by a bija, and then the name of the Lord is there and you're saying Namaha. This is the kind of mantra you should chant in your mind, okay? But there are certain mantras, he will say, that also are in the dative case, some mantras. That also we'll come to in a minute. Okay, there are some mantras in the dative case, but such mantras do not have bijas. They do not have bijas. Once the bija is not there, then you can chant it loudly also. Okay, he will give an example soon and we will sing that also in a minute. Always chant. That is the consideration that the Mahamantra is giving. So the Mahamantra is meant to be chanted softly, only that has been refuted. Loudly, only that has been refuted. You can chant it in whatever possible way. Loudly, softly, everything. Everything has its place. When you're doing japa, you're doing it softly to oneself. When you're sitting with others and chanting the Mahamantra, playing the harmonium, kartal, chant it loudly. Okay, so like that, everything is recommended, but you should always chant. Iha haita sarve siddhi hai basabara sarvakshana bala ite vidhi nahi ara. By doing so, everyone will attain all perfection. Always chant. There is no other prescription. Sarvakshana bala ite vidhi nahi ar. So there is no other prescription. There are many prescriptions to be followed before one becomes qualified candidate for initiation. But even without following any of these prescriptions, simply by constantly chanting the Mahamantra, Upamshu Japa, or chanting very mildly, everyone can attain perfection. In other words, one attains the qualification to achieve all perfection, like material enjoyment consisting of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, consisting of cultivation of impersonal Brahman realization, which condemns these two. In the chanting of Mahamantra, there is no consideration of proper and improper time. But with the Hare Krishna, sorry, I'm just saying it wrong. 1 second. In the chanting of a mantra, there is a consideration of proper and improper time. When you have bija mantras, there is a consideration of proper and improper time. But with the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there is no consideration whatsoever regarding proper and improper time, suitable and unsuitable candidate, or proper and improper place. This does not mean that one can attain any perfection by simply chanting any imaginary mantras or names, because such sound vibrations are born of Agnya Rudhi, the conventional meaning of words according to unintelligent persons. Believe me or not, there are many made-up mantras, because Nama can deliver, right? Not only deliver, it can even give you love of God, is what we have heard so far. And the prescription given by Mahaprabhu directly from the Shastras is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Again, Mahaprabhu did not concoct this mantra. People say Mahaprabhu gave the mantra. Yes, he gave, but it is there in scripture. He gave a mantra that is there in scripture. Now, someone else may come and make up a mantra. They can mix the names of the Lord and his consort, and they can make up a new mantra and say, this is also equivalent to the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, so you chant this mantra. I came up with this mantra. Here, Bhakti Siddhanta, there are sampradayas who still do that. That is the reason Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is telling that you cannot make up a mantra just saying that this has only the names of the Lord, so it will give you the same benefit. No, this does not mean that one can attain any perfection simply by chanting any imaginary mantra or names, because such sound vibrations are born of Ajna-rudhi. Ajna-rudhi means the conventional meaning of the words according to unenlightened person. If you're not enlightened, if it is not there in Shastra and you're coming up with a mantra, even if it is just namas also, it is not proper. Even if you're giving nama mantras, you should give it from Shastra. That is the point. It should be there in scripture. Okay. So Mahaprabhu was very Shastrik. Mahaprabhu was not randomly coming up with some concoction of something. He was directly speaking from scripture. And that is how even nama mantra japa should be done. It should all be authoritative and it should come from the right Guru Parampara. That's why we are chanting the mantra in a particular way. It's not that, something was given in the Shrutis and we changed it for our convenience. No, everything was given as it is and we follow as it is. Okay. 79. Where should I end, Mataji? I forgot.
That's okay, Mataji. You can cover till 82.
Yeah. What I had to cover?
86.
86. Yeah, I can cover because there's nothing much now. So 5 to 10 people can sit together in a house and perform kirtan while clapping their hands. These are other things that one can do. And how to do this? I told you there is an example of a dative case mantra that can be chanted loud, but it doesn't have pranava or any other bija. That is Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Rama Shri Madhusudan. If you see Haraye, Yadavaya, all this is there, right? This is also in dative case in one sense, but still there is no bija. So this can be chanted loudly like a bhajan, like how we have this Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya. Like that you can keep chanting. Then Gopal Govinda Rama Shri Madhusudan. So you can chant like that, there is no problem. Sankirtana kahilaye tomara sabha kare Sri putre bape mili karagiya ghare. These are my instructions on how to perform Sankirtan. Go home and chant together with your wife, father, and sons. So Sankirtan can be done with family members. Everybody together sit and chant. Any mantra that starts with a bija and ends with a 4 dative case, or any mantra that starts with Om and ends with a dative case should not be chanted loudly. But Nama, or the vocative form of names, as well as mantras that do not include bija or Om, with end with a dative case, but with the word Namaha, can be chanted loudly. For example, Haraye Namaha Krishna, Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya is there, Namaha is there. Still okay, you can chant it loudly. But once there are bijas, it has to be chanted inside the mind. Okay. 82. Prabhu mukhe mantra pai sabara ullasa dhandabata kari sabe chalini javasa. Having received mantra from the mouth of the Lord, they all became very happy. The Navadvipvasis, they became very happy. After offering obeisances, they returned to their respective homes. Everybody became very happy. What did they receive? They received the 16-word, 32-syllable Mahamantra. So much clarification everywhere. As well as the mantra with the names of the 4th dative case. Which one was that? Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. That also they received. According to the consideration of materialistic smartas, it is inauspicious to exchange mantras that begin with Om and end with Swaha. But chanting Maha Mantra or any mantra in the vocative form is widely accepted because such a mantra neither starts with Om or includes a bija. Any of the other bijas besides Om. Niravadi sabai japena Krishna nam Prabhura charana kai manikhari dhyan They all engage their bodies and minds in constantly chanting the holy names of Krishna and meditating on the Lord's feet. So, mantra should be chanted with the holy names of the Lord. And there is a very, very beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam that says, person who hears Srimad Bhagavatam regularly are always taking the matter very seriously, and they will have the personality of Godhead, Krishna, manifested within their hearts in a short time. So, this is very interesting. Look at this. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is telling, after worshipping the Lord with mantras for over hundreds of years, one attains the qualification for chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, whatever we have attained, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, actually, of course, it is received by the mercy of Sri Mahaprabhu, but the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is telling, after worshipping the Lord with mantras for hundreds of years, one attains the qualification for chanting the Hare Krishna Mantra. Activities like meditation are possible only when one attains such a qualification. Otherwise, the instruction given in the above verse prohibits activities like artificial meditation. So the point is, even to chant the Mahamantra, we should become qualified in one sense. And that qualification, of course, Mahaprabhu is giving us. But to have that proper Shuddha Naam, imagine it takes a very long time. We should become 100% qualified to do that. 84. संध्या हाइले अपनारा द्वारे सबे मिली कीर्तन करे न के सबे दिया करतिली. In the evening, they all gathered in their houses and they performed kirtan while clapping their hands. Ei mate nagare nagare sankirtan kari karayite lagi lena sachira nandan. In this way, the son of Shachi inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord from village to village. So it started, the Namahatta program was started by the Lord Shashinandan. 86. Sabhara uthiya prabhu alingana kare apana galara mala deya sabha kare. The Lord stood up, embraced each one of them, and then offered garlands to them. So 86, right? So we will stop here. And I think 87 is also a continuation. Yeah. Dhantetrina kare prabhu parihara kare aharnisha bhai sava bhajara krishnera. With straw between his teeth, the Lord appealed to them, "O brothers, worship Krishna day and night." Manifesting his humility before proud people, Sri Gaurasundar humbly requested everyone always engage in the service of Krishna and never give up worship of Krishna. So we'll stop here, and sorry for going a little over time by 4 minutes. But if you have any questions, comments, realizations.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Preeti Vilasini Mataji, Jai. All glories to you and all glories to this beautiful class. So beautifully you explain all the verses in such depth and detailed. As you mentioned, there is no specific time or place to chant the Mahamantra, and one can attain pure love of God only without chanting and having no material desire whatsoever. Excellent, excellent class, Mataji. Very, very grateful to you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If you have any questions or realizations, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasini Mataji. Wonderful class, wonderful. So many beautiful points you brought up. And it was a little technical, but you explained it so nicely. And this point really strikes me that when you mentioned that how Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur writes that if one chants the normal mantra with bija for thousands of years and then one gets the opportunity to chant the Mahamantra. So I was reflecting that how fortunate we all are that I don't know what we all did, what Sukriti we had, but definitely by the mercy of Prabhupada and all our Guru Vargas, we so easily got this Mahamantra to chant, which we just call it as Mahamantra. I'll just talk about myself, but never fully realized it, that how important it is and we should keep on chanting. So we should never take this for granted.
I like the way you said that's why it's called the Maha Mantra, right? Yes. So beautiful, so beautiful.
Very
Thank
nice.
you. And thank you so much for giving so many insights when you were assigning the verses itself. You gave me so many tips and insights. Thank
Oh,
you.
what Mataji, I didn't do anything, but yeah, class was very nice as usual.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sudhakar Prabhuji, please unmute yourself.
Haribol Mata.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So
Haribol.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, actually I joined in between and my net connection was disturbing me. With reference to the number, what is the number, how many numbers it was mentioned in this? I just missed that session. The number of numbers of the chanting, I see in the text it is mentioned, but
Okay, so the syllables in the mantras mentioned in the purport, the text 82 purport, it says, everyone became jubilant on receiving the 16-word, 32-syllable Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It is called as the 16-word, 32-syllable Mahamantra.
No, ma'am. Sorry, Mataji. My question was, is it mentioned about how many number of times we should chant? That's what I was asking. I missed it.
Given by the Guru. So for us, Srila Prabhupada has given us a Sankhya, which is 16 rounds of the Mahamantra, 108 times. That is what is suggested. Yeah. So we continue following what is given according to the Guru Parampara. Now, certain acharyas in the past have indicated 64, but Prabhupada is very compassionate. As the Guru in the Guru Parampara, he has given us 16. So that is the basic minimum we do. And if we want to do more, everyone is welcome to. Yes.
Yeah. I just heard about 16 rounds. Initially, I was asking in some of the lectures this question: why 16? Why not 14? Why not 13? But recently, I just got some knowledge from another Mataji about the 16 rounds. Actually, I want to share that if you don't mind. She said that the normal human being takes breath the number of times 16
50.
into 108 multiplied with the 16 syllables. That if you all multiply, that comes to the number of the breaths the human averagely takes. So I found it something logic, and I just tried to do some Google. I think it is clearly matching it. So thank you so much. It was very wonderful. I missed some session, but I think I will go through this text. I never read this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'm only listening to the sessions like this. It's really wonderful. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for your very valuable association and your inputs. Hare Krishna. Thank you for your association.
Paralanda Prabhuji, please unmute yourself.
Dhamma Pranam Mataji, and then to everyone here. Regarding the chanting Hare Krishna, which we are doing, and as you mentioned that it is after long practice of other mantras that we come like that. That the same thing is substituted by Devahuti Mata. She says, "Aho patasva pachato garyanya jihvagre vartate nam tubhyam." So he has already studied Shastra. He has already taken baths in all the tirthas, and all this he has done. Then only he has come to chant your holy names. So it's just giving the same point. So I just thought of sharing that.
Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, that's such a beautiful verse, and that also reflects the same thing Mother Devahuti says. Thank you, Prabhu. That was so insightful. Thank you. And we always look forward for your verses so that we can add on and we can meditate better on the content. Thank you, Prabhu. Very good.
Kripa Mai Sita Mataji, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Very wonderful class, Mataji. Very nice, detailed. You told about chanting of this Hare Krishna mantra. Very, very nice. Mataji, I just want some clarification. What is the bija, Mataji?
Bija. If we say Om, right? So I should not tell the pranava aloud, but then we say many of the bijas, like Om, Shrim, Kraun, Him, all these are bijas. Bija means that. That we don't say loudly, but for the sake of clarification, I said loudly. Yeah.
Okay, Mataji. No doubt. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Sita Preethi Mataji, please unmute yourself.
Hi Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam. Wonderful
Hare
class,
Krishna.
Mataji. Again, it's
Nice
always
to see you.
recommended to always listen to the importance of chanting and how you should chant. So no matter how many times you listen to it, it's always new, right? And thank you again for emphasizing that how important the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is. And we are so fortunate to have that. Mataji, I had a question. So maybe I missed that part. So the Bija mantra, as you said, is not said to be loud. Like whoever take that the diksha. First of all, what is the reason, if I can ask that? And second is, so you said that the Maha mantra is because it's Maha mantra, right? So what is the difference between this Bija mantra and the Maha mantra?
Bija mantras are the Gayatris you receive, Mataji. If you see the Gayatris that you receive, there's always a bija in that. Bija is a root. That is, it has these pranavakara or all the other vibrations, certain vibrations that are meant for a particular form of the Lord, to invoke a particular mood. So these are something that is secret and that cannot be openly done because they will fulfill our desires in a particular way. Okay. Now, if it is given through a guru that you are going to chant, for example, I'll give a Kama Gayatri, for example, we cannot say the mantra loudly. It is a secret, right? And your guru has trained you in what consciousness you should be chanting the Kama Gayatri. At least you should be told how to chant the Kama Gayatri, in what mood. Are you going to chant for some mundane reason or are you going to chant so that you can serve Radha Krishna? So you should know in what mood you're chanting. And these are like powerful atom bombs in the hand because mantras have immense power, especially when adjunct with a bija. When it has a bija, it has immense power. That's why it's given secretly. People can, okay, this is kind of esoteric, but mantras cannot be stolen. Mantras cannot be chanted without proper initiations, without properly hearing from the guru. Even if it is chanted without proper hearing, like nowadays you have tapes of the Gayatri mantra. That is actually not at all recommended. It is very bad, in fact. One lady is sitting and chanting Gayatri mantra in a musical way. What is all this? It should not be done. Any mantra with bija should not be repeated aloud. It is supposed to be taken with great reverence. It has to be chanted inside the mind to yield results, and it has to come from Guru. If nothing of this has happened, then there is no potency for that mantra. And sometimes it can also be misused. That's why it has to be given within a proper fashion with the right consciousness. If it is misused, it will give you other benefits. You might end up having other benefits out of it, which can be even not so good for you. Yeah. So it is like keeping a bomb, silent ticking bomb in your hand. But at the same time, you should know how to tap into it nicely. That the guru is giving you. He's giving it to you in your ear. If it's a male, now if there is a male guru and a female disciple in closed doors, that way you are here only between two of them. A bija mantra should be heard only within 4 years, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gurus 2 years, disciples 2 years. That's how the bija mantra transmits. So there are so many rules and regulations for any Bija mantra because these are all directly Shrutikar. Shrutis, they are coming from the Vedas. There are so many rules for Vaidika mantras to be taken. Now, Nama, that is where Harinam, like you asked, what is the difference between Hare Krishna mantra and the Bija mantras or the second initiation Gayatri mantras? Just I'm saying as a specific example of Bija mantra. Nama doesn't have the bija, so it is just the names of the Lord. The names of the Lord can be chanted in whatever way you want, like you're calling out to your father or to your child or to whatever, however you're saying Krishna, even if you're saying him as your master, you're calling him out as by his name. That you can call however you want. There is no problem. But if there is a mantra where his name is there in the dative sense, and you have added a bija to it to yield a particular kind of result, it is a secret, it has to be received as a secret and maintained as a secret because it has immense power. Okay, the intricacies are there, Mataji, but the idea is bija mantras should be treated with topmost reverence and respect. And Nama mantras, I'm not saying should not be treated with topmost reverence and respect. They are also considered with great respect, but it is more intimate where you're calling out the name of your worshipable Lord with lot of love. Okay.
Wonderful, Mataji. And this is so, it's so important that our scriptures and our, it is so rich heritage that this knowledge is like it's nowhere to be found, right? Unless and until it is coming from like speakers like you all. So it's really very thank you so much for sharing this, because otherwise everybody just takes it for granted, right? It's really thanks to you, thanks to Bhakti Sangha for bringing such wonderful emphasizing such wonderful points.
Thanks
Thank
to
you, Mataji.
Chaitanya Bhagavat Mataji.
Chaitanya
Nonsense.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hari Krishna. Hari Bol.
Nice to have your association. Thank you.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Prema Mataji, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Again, thank you very, very much for this really wonderful, technical, but very nice class, Mataji. But I'm still confused. I have this one confusion that the Bija mantras are considered as very powerful mantras, right? So they are not to be revealed. Then how is it that the Hare Krishna Ma mantra that doesn't have any Bija mantra is also as powerful? Forgive me for asking this question. And I also have a follow up.
Yeah. Then Lord's names are as powerful as him. It's not different from him.
Yes, but
It's
then
most powerful.
yeah, but the Bija mantras, I mean, then why are the Bija mantras considered that powerful, Mataji?
No, more than power, they are to be done with certain rules, Mataji, because these are Vaidika mantras and certain bijas are there in them. So these bijas should be uttered with utmost care. That's why.
And I have one more question, and please forgive me, and I'm asking forgiveness from all other Vaishnavas for asking this. If Mataji is this, if this Hare Krishna Ma mantra is this powerful, why is there a second initiation, and why are devotees given Gayatri also along with this Hare Krishna mantra?
Why is second initiation even there? Is what you're asking?
Yes, and
Because it gives you adhikar to do certain services like deity worship. It gives you adhikar because unless you have the Brahmana Diksha, you cannot worship deities and you cannot do certain things with respect to direct deity service. But then it is only the Nam, Hari Nam that takes you back to God and not the Gayatris. So, and here Suksagri Mataji is also telling when Harinam is given, Lord Chaitanya is investing it with his potency. It is very, very special. Yes, Mataji, thank you for that. So, the point again is that with the Bija mantras, you should not think just because you got first initiation, second initiation. You know, when we hear that, we think first initiation is something lower rung, second initiation means you have achieved something.
Yes,
I
also thought the same.
It has nothing to do with that. It's not that one is higher than the other. Just because you say first and second. It is Nam alone that will take you back to Godhead, not the Bija Mantra. Remember the story of Gopakumar. What happened in the story of Gopakumar? He receives Bija Mantra from his guru. But later, he's not able to go to Goloka Vrindavan. He comes back, and that is when his guru tells him you have to do Nam Kirtan. Very seriously. That is when you go back to Godhead, not just with Bija Mantra. Okay. Bija mantra will give you an adhikar to do certain Vaidika karya.
But Mataji, the Kam Gayatri, they say the Kam Gayatri mantra gives you the service to Radha and Krishna.
Why not? It will enhance. Yes, it will enhance your chanting of the Hare. It is like, it will help you take an elevator speed while chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. But it is not giving you the final destination. Nam alone will give the final destination.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I always had this confusion, that till you don't get the Kam Gayatri mantra, you don't get the service of Radha and Krishna, and you don't go anywhere.
Gayatris definitely accelerate the speed, but the final destination is achieved only with Nam.
Okay.
And his story, Gopakumar's story, is an evidence to that.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Thank you for this wonderful, wonderful class, and thank you for your wonderful association. Dandavat pranams to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Suksagri Mataji, please unmute yourself.
Hi, Krishna-Preethi. Dandavat pranam. Such a beautiful class, really. You clarified so many things and, very interesting discussion too. I wasn't going to, I was not able to unmute so long, but then I just had to. So, is it okay if I can express some of my thoughts which I heard?
Please, everyone will
on
be
this?
happy and benefited, definitely. Yes.
Yeah, so like you rightly said, I had listened. I mean, I was listening to a class by Bhanu Swami Maharaj quite some time back on Mahamantra and Diksha and things like that, in which he also mentioned that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had clearly said that it's not to undermine the Brahman Diksha in any way, but I'm just repeating what was. There's some noise in the background. I don't know. So not to undermine the Brahman Diksha in any way, but what was told in the class, I'm just conveying that he told that specifically for people who cannot relate to a personal form of the Lord, they are given Brahman Diksha, so to speak. But if, if devotees who can read scriptures and, immediately take to the personal form of the Lord, the Brahman Diksha is, like you said, the Nam Diksha is what takes you back to Godhead. And even Hanumat Prashik Swami Maharaj, in one instance, when a devotee had asked the same question, he told, Harinam is plenty, more than plenty. You really, really do not need, like you said, unless you want to do deity services and things. So it's like the way Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur portrayed it was for people who cannot relate, who cannot read scriptures, who are not able to relate to the personal form of the Lord by reading and educating themselves, for them to accelerate the process to relate to a personal form of the Lord. The Brahman Diksha is given. And also I've heard that during Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's times, the Dikshas were the same, but Prabhupada actually split them into two, because due to various reasons, like he was preaching in the West and he wanted people to gradually come up to the level like that. So.
Yeah, have some basic habits cleared out. Yes, before
Exactly.
you can handle the bija mantras, because you cannot handle bija mantras with bad, lifestyle or habits or whatever. At least basics should be straight. Yeah. So Prabhupada, like you rightly said, he split it into two. It's not like one is lower than the other. Yeah.
But very nice class, Preeti. It's like the more we listen, the more we understand the value of the Maha Mantra. I remember like about 20 years back or so, when I had heard this, one Mataji in London, she said the same, like I was attending like the Bhakti Shastri with her. And then she said the same thing in the class, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just gave it out so cheaply that we don't understand the value. I still remember the words she mentioned like that. So yeah, very, very freely he gave it out. So sometimes, it's difficult for me to understand, wow, what a, exalted thing we have got, our precious gem we have got. So thank you so much for your class, as always. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji. Thank you for the
Suksagari
inputs.
Mataji, for your input. That really helped me. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If there are no more questions or realizations, I would like to thank Her Grace Preethi Vilasini Mataji for her valuable time and association this morning. Thank you so much, Mataji, for a very beautiful, enlightening class. As always, very beautiful question answers and realizations. Explain all the verses very beautifully in such depth and details. There are devotees thanking you in the chat. Vanita Gandharvika Mataji, Devan Mataji, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Lalitangi Mataji, and Yashomati Mataji, all thanking you for a very beautiful class. Hare Krishna devotees, I would pay my obeisances to Her Grace Preethi Vilasini Mataji, all the assembled devotees. Do I have your permission to close the call, Mataji?
Yes.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुएव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। समस्त वैष्णववृंद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय, हर ग्रेस प्रीति विलासिनी माता जी की
All glories
जय।
to all excellent
Jai
devotees.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Very nice class, Mataji. Really, you just glorified Mahamantra very nicely and in detail. Everybody can understand. It's so glorious.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
dear devotees. Thank you all so much for joining. See you all tomorrow. So we'll end
Hare
our
Krishna.
class.
Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. Thank
Hare
you so
Krishna,
much.
Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam. Jai Shri Prabhupada.